So the second album, I think X Marks the Spot, you had
Yeah.
an R. Kelly
No,
song.
X Marks the Spot.
Sorry, X Marks
X Marks the Spot is the first album,
is
and A Woman's Thing is the
it's a woman
second
saying sorry.
one.
Um,
Yeah, it's okay.
you had You for Me, which for most of us, I don't think anyone knows that R. Kelly did that. So because it would it be and so I'm saying to myself, you've got an R. Kelly. R. Kelly is the biggest writer producer at the time. Anything he touches goes to platinum. But that song just went
Yeah,
under the radar, and I'm thinking
yeah.
there must be something other than because it's not the song. It must be that they didn't push it. What was your thinking about the
Yeah.
second album? About why your second album didn't blow up, and especially having a single by from R. Kelly.
Whew. You're pushing a lot of buttons. Okay. you know, I think it's so very self-explanatory when you get into when you have an album on a big label and
Mm,
you have a big producer like that and a song doesn't really fly, then you obviously know that there's legal things that are going on in the background that people have just not worked out. It's like there's no reason that that song wasn't like one of the biggest songs in the world. That
yeah,
should be the song that we're still touring on right now, 30
yeah,
years
yeah.
later, right?
Mm,
But it's not. And it's because there were too many hands in the pot. That's all I could say. I mean, it's just pretty obvious without me having to say it that something went on with the paperwork or with the logistics of that record because R. Kelly at the time was at the top of his career. It was
yeah,
around the time I think when he was doing like I Believe I Can Fly, like all
yeah.
these massive hits. And so
Mm,
that's why we went to him for a record. I remember my lawyer was like, look, we need to go to somebody that's got a big hit record right now and have them write for you. And we did. We fought for that. And at the end of it just didn't go anywhere. And it was because we just didn't have the the push from label. Because okay, yeah, I feel like I'm dropping bombs here, just background stuff like I did with X Factor. Okay, so basically it was Warner Brothers, Reprise, the label Reprise through Warner Brothers, and then Forceful Records. So we weren't signed to Reprise Warner Brothers. We were signed to Forceful Records, who was signed to Reprise, who has a thing through Warner Brothers, right? So it's just like all these vias that we as young girls, when you sign on a record deal at 17 years old, you're not thinking about any of that. You're just thinking, I want to go sing. And
yeah,
so you get screwed. We all came from the ghettos. We didn't come from, families that had lawyers in them that was like, here, you sign this and you're going to sign this. You're not going to sign this album because this is a horrible deal that you're signing. We just want to go sing. So um, that was pretty much what happened with us. We didn't have protection and we just signed really bad deals. And so when you look at so many songs on those albums that should have gone really, really well, unfortunately they didn't because we just and I would love it to do a conversation with Lou or Paul one day from Full Force because I'm sure there's things that I don't know because I know for sure in my heart, deep in my heart, I feel that they did care about us. To have us sign contracts like that, it's just a little bit baffling to me even today. So some of the questions you would have to ask them personally, because honestly, I'm just as confused as everyone else why that would occur.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just, yeah, because it
Yeah.
was a R. Kelly record. We went to Soul Train and performed it, and at the time, anything that R. Kelly at the time was touching was turning to gold,
Yeah, I mean,
platinum. So
I did interview Lou, but that about a year ago. But well, it's almost 2.5 hours. But
yeah,
actually, he got in touch with me just a week ago. But as I said, but yeah, and unfortunately, I didn't make the connection at the time.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but and I think a lot of because as I mentioned, a lot of my guests, even from Elderbar, they've all talked about how the labels and politics and if they don't push,
yeah,
if there's stuff happening, they will just drop the ball, and it's like this is a problem we
yeah.
just don't want to deal with. So
That's right.
but but we what we do in halftime is celebrate as opposed to try and dig out dirt and pull anyone down. But as I say, a lot of us
No,
were so
exactly.
shocked with such a powerful track and the album and the
Yeah,
energy you girls had, especially when the
yeah,
'90s was for the groups and for when R&B was at its
yes,
core, and then you had other groups
yeah,
like SWV and stuff all flying coming up and
yeah.
going from one strength to another.
And so, okay, So when you talk about that, when you, because I want to say this, and I feel like I've never said this publicly, and I do want to say this. When you say that, right, and you think about how hard that must be as an artist to digest that loss, because it's a loss. It's like having this beautiful baby, and the baby grows a little bit, and then the baby dies. It's that traumatic for an artist, right? And I think that sort of death and the music sort of like not being heard and just not, it's people don't understand how traumatic that can be. You understand? So here we are with that trauma and feeling like, I didn't, that could have gone better. People like you who heard it, people even now who listen to Ex-Girlfriend, like, oh my God, I can't believe you were an ex-girlfriend. And it's funny because it's like a little bit of a resurgence, because I remember for a long time, there was no mention of Ex-Girlfriend. And now there's like all these people, and you know why? Because people are missing R&B music. Yeah. And it's this big gap, and now people are reaching for it, right? But at the time, it was a loss. It was a devastating situation for me. And I, for a long time, was very bitter and hurt and angry. And there was a lot of resentment that I had there, And so I had to heal through that too, because I can't hold on to that and think, there's no way I can hold on to that and continue to grow musically and as a woman and as a person. And so I want to give thanks to Lou, and I want to give thanks to Paul, and I want to give thanks to Full Force for giving me that opportunity, because they did see something special in me and they did give me a chance. So there's no way it would be very wrong of me to be in an interview situation and say, oh my God, they dogged us out. Blah, blah. No, I can't walk away from this interview and say that. They gave me a great opportunity. I went to places in the world that I could never have seen had it not been for the opportunity they gave me. I love the girls. It was a phenomenal opportunity to dance with them and sing with them. Of course, we all wish that it could have gone differently, and we all wish that, but it is our responsibility in this day and in present time to create a different reality for ourselves. And Ex-Girlfriend will always be a beautiful golden part of my life. And I will acknowledge it as that from now on, and not as something that was bad, but something that taught me and something that helped me grow as an artist, and something that I really loved in the moment. And yeah, there was heartbreak in it, but when it was alive, it was beautiful. Yeah. And so I want to give thanks to them for giving me that opportunity, because had it not been for them, there would have been this big gap. It could have been a whatever. We don't know. We wouldn't be talking about the phenomenal music that we did. So that is a part of healing, and that is a part of growth for me, because for a long time I was like, I don't want to ever talk about them, and they didn't exist, but they did, and they gave me, and it was beautiful, and they gave me a chance to shine and go on big stages that I never, would have dreamed of going on, even as a young girl. So I do want to take a moment to thank them for that.
Yeah, I mean,
and working with R. Kelly was epic. It's just like being in the studio with a legend like that was epic. It's hard to see what he has turned into, but boy, this man is one of the most talented artists that ever walked the planet. And so it was a blessing. We never saw anything that was inappropriate when we worked with him. He never crossed any line with us, and we were young, beautiful girls, and he was respectful with us, and we did some great music together.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, for someone like R. Kelly, I mean, spoken to Cassandra from Changing Faces. I mean, a lot of other groups who've worked with him. So we focus on the music, and we recognize the talent, and then we understand the other things. That the other side are things that not everyone would see or witness, but focusing more on the magic of the music, because the music stays a lot with us.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. But also check out the membership, which is a good way of getting some exclusive videos and actually long videos from day one. But thanks again for watching. Look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.